name's Brody, and I'm the whole health dietitian here at Salt Lake City, VA. Today we're going to be making English muffin pizzas and apple coleslaw. Here are a couple tips for finding fresh, high-quality produce. How does the produce look or feel? Fresh produce should be firm and free from wilting or discoloration. How does it smell? If there are any off odors, it's likely not fresh. One easy way to guarantee fresh produce is to pick from the back of the shelf or bottom of the bin. Stores often dump the older produce on top of newer produce to ensure the older produce is purchased before it spoils. Another tip is to purchase from the local farmers market. This is one way to not only support your local economy and farmer, but also get the freshest produce possible. The first thing we want to do is cut up our vegetables for the English muffin pizzas. You can use whatever kind of vegetables you like. What I've chosen to be using here is the onion and the pepper. But you could use mushrooms if you like to, or a different type of pepper if you wanted to. That's totally fine. First, what we're going to do is chop up the onion. Onion is great for our health, including our immune system. So that's something that's really important to help support our immune system. So you can chop the onion however you like, but I'd like it in strips. We only need a half a cup for the whole recipe. So there's our onion. Here's our pepper. Woo! First, we're going to chop it in half and take out the insides. Okay. And then again, cutting it in strips. Make sure you use the claw hold with your non-dominant hand so you don't hurt yourself. Okay. And again, we don't need too much here, so I'm just going to chop them like this and go ahead and put them in our half cup measure. That's all we need for 2 pizzas. Next thing we're gonna do is we want to microwave these. So all we're gonna do is, whoop, there's still a little bit left. That onion's a little sticky there. We're gonna microwave this on high for 1 minute, and then we're going to put it on the pizza. Now that our vegetables have been microwaved, we're going to put them on paper towel and pat them dry. All right, just gets rid of the excess moisture when we put it on the pizza. Okay. Next, we're going to make our tomato base. We have a tomato sauce here that has no added salt, and we also have Italian seasoning and garlic powder. Italian seasoning is really fantastic to use. It has lots of delicious herbs, Italian herbs, and it doesn't have any extra salt, any added salt, no salt at all. And then our garlic powder just has a nice added punch to our tomato base. Okay. So there's our tomato base. We're going to mix it up now. Just get it all mixed in there. This is about a half a cup of tomato sauce. Okay. Then what we're gonna do next, I'm gonna grab our English muffins. And these are whole wheat English muffins. They're already toasted. You don't have to toast them, but it gives them a little bit more structure if we toast them. So we want to put our base onto the English muffins. You don't really need a lot. You may not even use the whole half cup, but if you like to and you like a lot more sauce, please do. It's really up to you. Okay, looks nice with those seasonings there. I'm gonna put a little bit more here. Okay, now what we have is our vegetables. Throw our veggies on here and just evenly split them between our pizza slices. English muffins are great to use for this. They're great for kids as well. Kids really love because they can make their own pizzas. That's kind of fun. Okay, as well as the adults love that too. We get to make our own mini pizzas. All right, now we have our vegetables, we have our tomato base, and now let's add 2 tablespoons or 1 tablespoon per slice of English muffin. So you can kind of guesstimate here. Just evenly divide between each English muffin slice. All right, so pretty easy and straightforward. And now we just get to microwave them. So microwave on high for about 30 to 60 seconds. Now that these are finished cooking, you can enjoy them with a friend. Don't limit yourself to just these toppings. Enjoy mushrooms or pesto or other vegetables too. Enjoy! All right, cabbage. We have red cabbage and green cabbage. The red cabbage actually has a lot of anthocyanins, which is an antioxidant that helps reduce inflammation in the body. Both of these cabbage have a lot of fiber and prebiotics, which is really healthy for the gut. You can use both in slaws if you want to, like a coleslaw, or a salad. You can also pickle red cabbage. All right, let's go ahead and talk about apples. We have our green apple here. It's nice and tart. It's a Granny Smith. It's great for cooking, like in apple pies. We also have red apples. They're usually sweeter, like the Pink Lady, Gala, or Fuji apple. They're great for snacking. They're really good for coleslaws and having fresh. Let's get to the kitchen. Next, we're going to make an apple coleslaw. The first ingredients are actually the dressing. We're gonna make them in a bowl here. So the first ingredient on the list is the Greek yogurt, and we have plain Greek yogurt here, and this has a lot of protein. So we're just gonna put, it's gonna be a great addition to our recipe, that protein. We're also going to add in olive oil mayo, and olive oil mayo can be really helpful because olive oil can help reduce inflammation in the body. So we're going to squeeze that right in. Okay, olive oil mayo is in. Okay, the next ingredient is lemon. We're going to use a fresh lemon, but you could use bottled lemon or some kind of vinegar if you like apple cider vinegar. Okay, we're just gonna cut that in half. And what we wanna do first is squeeze out the lemon. Now, what you wanna do here, you could use a fork, it's super easy. Just put the fork here and use the fork to kind of squeeze out the lemon. Why we wanna do this in a separate bowl or container is because of all the juice, or excuse me, all of the seeds. We don't want the seeds in our dressing. Okay, I'm gonna do another one just in case. We need about 1 to 3 teaspoons. So just use that fork. And all we're gonna do here is now take a teaspoon and just put that lemon juice right in your bowl. Whoops. Okay, I'm just gonna use 2 teaspoons today. Okay, we put that off to the side. Now we have some of our dressing. The last thing we need is salt. So we just need a pinch of salt. Probably a large pinch of salt would be great. And here's our dressing, and all we're gonna do is take our fork and mix it up. So here's our nice creamy dressing for our coleslaw. Okay, so there it goes, mixed up. You can just use a fork, you don't need a whisk or anything like that. Okay, so let's put that off to the side because I wanna show you how to cut up a cabbage, because that is our next food here, our next ingredient. I've cut it in half, as you can see. Now I'm gonna put the flat side down on the cutting board, and we're just gonna cut this in half now. Okay, make sure you have a nice sharp knife. So what I wanna show you is actually the stem. We wanna avoid the stem. The stem is really, really hard. We really can't chew through that stem. So we wanna cut the stem out. And all we're gonna do here is take our knife on an angle and cut the stem out. Okay, Okay, so now how do we shred cabbage? All you have to do is just take your knife, make sure you have that claw hold with your fingers so you don't hurt yourself, and just take your knife, just thinly slice that cabbage, okay? One thing I like to do is actually cut it in half, because when I'm eating a salad, I don't want such a big piece of cabbage and, you know, when I get a forkful. So what I like to do is just cut it in half. Okay, so now you have smaller cabbage. You could even cut it in half again if you wanted to. That's no problem, okay? So this is gonna be, we want 2 cups of cabbage. So I'm gonna slice a little bit more so we have 2 cups, okay? All right, and that's going right in our dressing bowl. All right, right in, 2 cups of cabbage, okay? Okay, so next we have our craisins. Now this is a low sugar variety of craisins. You could use raisins if you like to, that's no problem. Either one is fine. And carrots, shredded carrots, just really nice to eat. They are kind of similar to the size and shape of the cabbage. So throw that right in. Okay. And now the last ingredient is an apple. And I'm going to put the bowl off to the side so we can now chop up our apple. Apples are really healthy for us, of course, and especially the skin. So make sure we get the skin in there. That's important. So just cutting it in half. And you can kind of chop up an apple however you like to. It can be really helpful to put the flat side down. When you do have a flat side, make sure you put it down on the board. So here's our apple. We're gonna add some more in here in a second, but it's nice. I wanted to show you the color. I think with any kind of salad or really anything we eat, when it has a lot of color, it just has a lot of flavor, a lot of texture, a lot of fiber, a lot of nutrition, and that's really important, of course. Get some good nutrition inside of us. All right, so just quickly chopping the rest here, making sure to put the flat side down. So we have so it's just easier to chop up and we don't have anything sliding around our board, because that can just be a little bit riskier with a knife around. Okay. Okay, and here. Okay. Let's go ahead and put our apples right in. I can take my whisking fork out, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and mix in with our big spoon, serving spoon. Let me put it on the flat side. It's a little hard to mix it with on an angle there, but I'm gonna get it all mixed up. And this is coleslaw, don't forget, so it has a nice creamy base. Really, that isn't just mayo, right? It has some protein, it has some nutrition in it, and that's really important. Covers all of the vegetables and fruit. Okay, and there we go, there we have it. This is a delicious, simple recipe that's great for a summer barbecue. Enjoy!